His MVP. Golf swing, right field. Forget about it. Rangers strike first. Goes after the first one. Drills a high fly ball. Left center field. This game is tied. From Javier. Seager hits a high fly ball. Deep right field. A bomb into first. One swing. Drive. It's tied. Seager smashes the ball down the line. Goodbye. Now Seager to right center field. Way back there. Good again. Corey Seager does it again. It's Texas Rangers win the World Series. The Willie Mays Most Valuable Player Trophy presented by Chevrolet. Is there any doubt? Corey Seager.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of Right on Rangers Live, coming at you after a 3-1 Texas Rangers victory over the Los Angeles Angels. We got a little Dallas Mavericks play-in action tonight as well. It's a good night in DFW sports. Hopefully you'll get a little better after a Mavs win. Go 2 for 2. That's the plan. A lot to talk about from the game today. Looking forward to getting into everything with y'all. Patrick Corbin looking good tonight in his second start in a Rangers uniform. 5 1/3, dominating innings, and the bullpen once again come into play. You got to love it. Got to love the bullpen, man. Come into play today. Phenomenal. Hopefully we're back online with TikTok now. Appreciate all y'all hanging out. All right. Y'all know the drill here, Right on Rangers. We cover everything sports, but we put a big emphasis on all the teams we love from the great state of Texas, including the Rangers and especially the Rangers during MLB season. Thank you for choosing Right on Rangers for all of your Texas Rangers content. Much appreciated, y'all. Yeah, Mavs tonight. I'm going to talk a little Mavs tonight, too. Obviously, we'll have the Rangers front and center in the discussion to begin, but I got the Mavs game going. First quarter just ended. Mavs down by 2, 29-27. Anthony Davis, a little bit of a cold start. A little bit of a cold start to this one. I think he's like 2 for 9 or 10, something like that last time I checked. Not super ideal. Not super ideal for Anthony Davis to start out, but you know what? It's a long game. Hopefully they will get into a rhythm here. I sure would love to watch a little bit more Dallas Mavericks basketball. I know that the season has been a little bit of a train wreck here on the back nine, but still a big fan of the team. Don't love the ownership, the front office at this point, but you know what? A lot of those guys have been on the team since day one this season. Not going to turn my back on those boys. Going to hope for a win. Maybe we'll get lucky against Memphis and on to Oklahoma City. That's got to be the plan at this point. More Mavs in a little bit, but first of all, let's start with Patrick Corbin. Guy that the Rangers sign in the back half of spring training. Clearly a guy with some great pedigree. Patrick Corbin, talking about the Rangers starter tonight. 5 1/3, 5 hits, 1 walk, 6 base runners in 5 1/3. It's impressive. It's impressive. And then 6 Ks to go with it. Corbin looking strong in his first start at home, I believe, right? First start was on the road. Did I get that right? Yeah, if not, second start with the club. Corbin, 3.86 ERA through 2 starts. And look, got into a little bit of trouble there in the 6th inning. Kind of got a little bit unlucky. There was a ball that wasn't hit very well that hit the chalk. Corbin, I thought, pitched very, very solid tonight. And look, we were talking about it on the live the other day. I think it was maybe just last night, actually, when you've got to think about who's maybe the first man out. I don't know if Patrick Corbin is going to be that guy. I think he, at minimum, is going to go to the bullpen. But even when you've got some of these guys coming back, Jack Leiter, I almost wonder if Kumar Rocker is going to be odd man out over Patrick Corbin. At this point, I think you like the veteran leadership and presence that Patrick Corbin brings. Kumar Rocker, still quite young in his MLB career. What's the harm if Kumar goes back down to AAA? gets a little bit more time there, and then comes back up at another time to help the big league club. That's what I think you do with Rocker at this point. I'm not saying Rocker is bad. I'm not saying that Rocker is terrible. Don't get it twisted at all. I think that when you consider, though, the entire landscape here, you don't want Kumar Rocker being a long relief guy. You want him getting reps as a starter. I don't want to move Kumar Rocker to the bullpen. Now, could you maybe move Patrick Corbin to the bullpen in a long relief role? Perhaps. But if you're getting dominating starts like this one from him, I don't know. I think you think twice, understanding that you've got a much longer runway with a guy like Kumar Rocker. Kumar Rocker, very, very young in his career. I know that some fans probably wouldn't want to see the demotion, but I think you got to consider it. You've got a guy like Patrick Corbin that's been around the block, has got that veteran experience. I wouldn't mind it. Got to give Patrick Corbin some love tonight, though, as well as the rest of the bullpen. Shawn Armstrong, this was by far, I think, his best outing as a Texas Ranger. By far. I felt like him coming in that moment, cleaning up the mess from Corbin in the 6th inning. You get Mike Trout swinging, and then you go through the heart of the order to get out of that inning. Jacob Webb comes in. The two guys that I'm kind of a little bit on the fence about. I talked about it last night, y'all. Armstrong and Webb are the two guys that I feel a little bit anxious about when they come into the ball game, and look, both of them were nails tonight. You got an inning and a third from Armstrong, 1 hit, 2 Ks. You got an inning and a third from Webb, no base runners allowed. And then you got Jackson coming in, and I've told y'all with Jackson, I'm feeling pretty cozy at this point. I think I've gotten over the opening day debacle, and now you've got Luke Jackson, 3.38 ERA. That's how long it's taken him to bring down that ERA after that disastrous first outing against the Red Sox. Down to 3.38 now. No Ks for him, so a lot of contact today. That appears to kind of be the MO with Luke. I'm okay with it as long as you're getting weak contact. And looking at it in the top of the 9th, let's see where Luke Jackson's contact was at. We had a fly out at 93 off the bat. Darno ground out 56, weak contact there. Shanuel, nice line drive, 95. So look, you did have a couple of hard hits, but you got Travis Darno on a very weak little ground out to Corey Seager. Loved it. I don't think Chris Martin, by the way, Andrew, what's good? I don't think Chris Martin's going on the IL, but I think they're going to give him a couple of days. Mavs out to a 35-29 lead now. Love seeing that. Come on, Mavs. Look, I know that there's some fans that kind of don't want to see the Mavs do well. Even my wife, shoot, it was the Luka game, last week, and she was cheering for the Lakers. I'm like, I just can't do it. I do love Luka. Luka's probably my favorite NBA player. So I was a little beside myself when they traded him. Tried to get on board early, but I got to admit, the longer time's gone on, the more upset about the trade I am, especially after Luka's return. We're going to get into Mavs a little bit later on, y'all. But look, hope that the Mavs can pull this one out. I would love to see them get into the playoffs and maybe OKC. Things get interesting. Mavs kind of have OKC's number. You got to get past Memphis if you win tonight. A lot of game left. We're not getting ahead of ourselves. Trust me. Let me get to YouTube here and we see what we got. Appreciate all y'all. John, what's good, man? Corbin was dealing tonight. Maybe there was something about the cold weather. Yeah, on the road, right? Made his first start on the road. That was in Chicago, yeah? So could be a situation where the cold weather affected him. Although you got to think, pitched in Washington, you know that in Washington they have some cold weather days. Where else was he? Arizona? Not really a cold weather place. I don't know. You might be right, though, John. 11 hits, 9 left on base. Key ABs just leaving people on base. Jock is totally a wasted spot in the lineup right now. John, thanks for the comments, man. And I did see somebody else on TikTok basically say, oh, Andrew, it was you, man. Thank you for all the comments, brother. I appreciate you. Why are we putting Jock at 3? I have no idea. My dad texted me. Dad, if you're watching, what's good, man? My dad texted me, why are our 2 worst hitters right now? Why are they hitting in the top 3? And of course, he's referring to Marcus Semien and to Jock Peterson. And look, Marcus, he has the track record, no doubt. And I don't really have a lot to argue with them. I think there is a very strong argument. Those are the two worst hitters right now. You go by the average, you go by the OPS, you go by everything. Those are the two worst hitters on this Rangers team right now. Marcus Semien, Jock Peterson. I don't get the strategy of giving those guys more ABs than everybody else. I really don't get it. I would like to see both of them move down into the bottom half of the order. Does that mean that you move them down to 7, 8, 9? Maybe for Jock Peterson, I think Marcus could probably land around the 6 hole and probably be okay there. But I really don't understand hitting Marcus and Jock in the top 3, literally the two worst hitters of the year. Cadet didn't see the DeYoung incident. Tell me about it. We'll be at the game on April 20th. 4 days from now. Oh, over the weekend. Very cool. Roger, good deal. Good deal. Why is Jock batting third? A lot of y'all have that question. I do not know. I think that at this point, they just keep praying that Jock snaps out of it. Like if they keep on instilling confidence into him and pumping him up, moving him up to leadoff, moving him to third, maybe something is going to click. But look, I cannot imagine that when Wyatt Langford comes back, Jock is going to be anywhere near the top. I can't see it happening. I think right now he's maybe just by the nature of the injuries. Of course, you have Josh Smith still out with that bruised thumb. So I've got to think it's just because of the injuries to Langford and Smith that Jock is hitting this high. Nevertheless, I would much rather have Dustin Harris even. And that's no disrespect to Dustin, but I'd rather have Dustin Harris hitting third right now. Klay Thompson, back-to-back threes, by the way. Mavs up 43-35. I got the game on my iPad here on the tablet, so periodically I'll give you some updates. 43-35 Mavs, second quarter right now. Good start for the good guys. Keep going on the comments. Appreciate all y'all. Gio, what's good, man? Thanks for tuning in. Rangers win. Yes, sir. Still haven't hit the 7-run mark at this point. Rangers, Gio was telling us, only team in MLB that hasn't scored 7 runs or more in a game. Okay. Yeah, the average right now, Gio says, is 3 runs a game. That's not great. The pitching is incredible, so we'll take it, but no, that's not great. Caden, what's good, man? I do agree. I feel like we probably are one of the worst teams with runners in scoring position. Let me see if I can get some team totals up right now for where the Rangers might be at. So let's see here. I'm going to go expanded. I'm on MLB right now. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it, y'all. It's going to be tough. Right now, I will tell you this. The Rangers are actually not bottom of the pack in everything. But look, you look at the average. Rangers are right now 23rd in the league at 218. Let's go to the OPS. I know OPS, a lot of people are liking that stat these days. I grew up on batting average and OBP. I know OPS is kind of becoming the favorite stat. They're 23rd in that as well. So Rangers are definitely at the bottom half of the league offensively. Not finding the stats with runners in scoring position. Probably going to have to do a deeper dive for that. But I've got to imagine the runners in scoring position average is pretty low at this point. Mavs up 12 now. Here we go. Man. I can't do it. Ultra modern, I can't do it. Look, I grew up cheering for the Mavs. We're talking Dirk Nowitzki draft. We're talking Steve Nash, even J. Kidd days, original J. Kidd days. That's about when I started cheering for the team. So we're talking close to 30 years at this point, Dallas Mavericks. It's not just something you give up, but can't say that I'm cheering for the front office. Not in love with the moves that they made this year. Of course, we already know the one move, the only move that mattered this season, trading Luka Doncic, one of, if not the best player in the NBA. And I don't think that's hyperbole. When the Rangers get a lead late in the game, the bullpen wins every game so far. Hard to argue with that. Hard to argue with that. It was nice, John. I agree. It was nice to see Harris starting tonight. And look, Harris had himself a decent game tonight. You had Harris going 1 for 4, had a double, another extra base hit for the rookie. I am a fan of Harris playing, and he played left field tonight. I'm a fan of him sticking in the lineup. Leote did go 1 for 4 tonight. You can't really expect a whole lot more out of your 9-hole than a 1 for 4. I mean, look, you love for him to get on base a couple times, but I don't expect a whole lot from 7, 8, 9 beyond a one-hit game. Berger with 3 hits tonight. Awesome seeing him come alive after being out with an illness yesterday. Corey Seager, 3 hits. Seager heating up. That average jumped up quick, for Siegs. 288 average now for Corey. Man, he did the same thing last year. Corey Seager started off cold as ice, and then late April, early May, just caught a heater, man. It was like home run every game for 10 days straight. Good stuff. John, you said that. Berger and Seager heating up. Love to see it. Love to see it. Gio, yes, sir. Hey, look, my grandparents were big Spurs fans. Rest in peace to both of them. And I actually, when I was real small, I grew up, we're talking like early elementary days in St. Louis. So there was no basketball there. Still isn't. No NBA. So I would cheer for the Spurs just because of my grandparents. Then when my family moved to Arlington, to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, it was just hard not to get on board. Mark Cuban had just bought the team. And this is a kind of a cool story. My dad emailed him. Mark Cuban was like taking a lot of fan emails at that time, literally had just bought the team. And my dad reached out, hey, my son and I just moved into the area. You know, we don't really have an NBA team. We'd love to cheer on the Mavs. I don't even think was like asking him for anything. We're just kind of like making a connection. And he emailed back and was like, we'll have a couple tickets that we'll call for you. Pick out a game and get back with my secretary. True story. A really, really cool story. I've always been a Mark Cuban fan. I know he's a little polarizing these days as he dives into the political world, but I'll always be a Mark Cuban fan for that. Yeah, I mean, obviously things have been a little up and down with the franchise of late, but always going to be a Mavs fan. All right, story time over. Back to the Rangers. What do we got for a score so far here? Let me check this out. Sorry about that. Right now, looks like Mavs are up late into the second quarter. Good stuff. Lineup we kind of went through already. We talked about the strong performances of the bullpen as well. I did see Caden that Latz got called up. Interesting move, but what I read, I was reading Evan Grant's Dallas Morning News article about the Mark Church demotion. Basically, they want to use Mark Church in high leverage situations, right? They want to see Mark Church in that spot. So Mark Church at this point, the command hasn't been there. He's walking too many guys. The stuff is there, but the command has not been there. They see Mark Church as a high leverage guy, and they want him to be practicing high leverage situations. Because of the lack of command consistently at the big league level, they are not feeling comfy about having Mark Church in tight ball games, and I can't blame them. So the decision was bring up Jacob Latz. He got another lefty. Jacob Latz had some great moments for the Rangers back in 2024. If y'all remember, he went in that game against Milwaukee. John, if you're still hanging out, I know you'll remember this because we commiserated over this game. Latz got a grand slam hit off of him when we were playing the Brewers last year. This was like in June. And I just feel like he was never the same after that grand slam got hit off of him. I think some of y'all that watch every game, thick and thin, you probably remember what I'm talking about. Ever since that game, it felt like he was just a little bit off all season after a really hot start. You remember Jacob Latz came out firing in 2024, was like one of our best relievers for a time, and we were pitching him in those high-pressure moments. After that grand slam that he gives up in Milwaukee, it was like up and down and more down than up the rest of the entire season. John's nickname, I remember this, John. This is a good one. Lighter fluid lats. It would. It'd be like at times, throw him in the game. It's probably going by the wayside. Probably not going to work out well. But there was like a April to May time period with Jacob Latz last year where it was lights out. It was lights out. This is a great stat. Watching post-game, Rangers 8-1 at home. The best 9-game home start in franchise history. Appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Look, that's something that I noticed pregame as well. Just looking at the home and away records, Rangers at that time were 7-1 at home. Rangers have always played pretty well at home, to be fair, but that's a great number for them. And look, good for the home fans getting to watch winners nearly every time. Caden, I just don't know if there's a need for Teodo at this point. I think that you've got your high leverage guys figured out. Chris Martin obviously tweaked a little something in the back. I think he's going to miss a couple games and be fine. I just don't know if there's a super big role for Teodo to play. Not that he couldn't be on the big league ball club and do really, really well. I just don't know at this point if there is a consistent role for Teodo. There would have to be a couple of guys really fall off, I think, for Teodo to have some kind of major role in the bullpen. And if you don't have that major role for him, you might as well keep him in a place where he does have a major role so he can continue to fine-tune things as he works his way up to the big league level. Let me keep going. TikTok, I'm going to get back to y'all's comments. Chris Martin, I think, is just going to be a couple games, something tweaked in the back is what I heard. Only reason they're doing good is because of Brandon Williams. Yeah, talking about the Mavs. Brandon Williams, I'm glad they gave that man a contract. Brandon Williams killed it at times this year. I mean, that look, I do kind of think, as much as some Mavs fans aren't going to want to hear it, beyond the Luka Doncic trade, Nico Harrison has picked up some pretty solid guys. Like, you drafted Derek Lively under Nico Harrison. You found Brandon Williams. There are some quality transactions. It's just that the Luka one was so terrible, it kind of outweighs all the other ones naturally. But there's actually been some pretty solid players that Nico has been able to acquire during his time. Nobody's going to focus on those, and rightfully so. You trade away Luka Doncic and you don't get the biggest haul in NBA history. A lot of people are going to forget about any other good moves that you actually made. Keep going. Jock is going to figure this funk out. Anthony, appreciate the comment. I sure hope so. I just would like to see Jock figure it out, not hitting in the top 5. Definitely not hitting in the top 3, please. I mean, a little ridiculous. I think that they continue to try and force it. I don't think you can do anything with Jock. Mr. Lurk, what's good? I don't think you can do anything with Jock besides move him down. I mean, you can bench him for a couple of games, but you're paying him too much money. The front office is not going to bench him. They're paying him way too much. And it does become, I think, a little bit of an ego thing. You don't want to have your $18.5 million investment riding the pine. You want to be right on a move like that. I mean, look at Nico Harrison and what he has done over the past couple of months, totally just making all the wrong moves in the media since then. I mean, and it's pride, right? It's ego. There's all those things mixed in. You don't want to be wrong. That's what it comes down to. And look, CY, I think, is pretty good with the media, much better than Nico Harrison is. But the point I'm trying to make is I don't think that CY is going to want to see $18.5 million that he went ahead and really vouched for, right? I don't think he wants to see that failing on the bench. So I can't imagine them benching Jock Peterson unless it's been like 2 months and the dude is still hitting around 050, which is pretty close to where he's at right now. He's got to be 0 for his last 30 plus by this point, right? It's got to be over 0 for 30 streak right now, unfortunately for Jock. Garrow says, it's kind of weird seeing Trout start slow. I agree. I said, based on all of the social media posts I've seen about Mike Trout, I would have thought he was hitting like 280, 300. Dude's hitting 190 right now. Went 1 for 4 tonight. I was really, really surprised to see that Mike Trout is under the Mendoza line. I know he's got like 6 or 7 home runs, but not having an awesome start to the year. OPS is at 785. I mean, look, that's not bad, but for Mike Trout standards, definitely a little bit lower than what you'd expect. Keep going. Love what the bullpen's doing so far. Brad, couldn't agree more. The only thing I don't like about Corey is how he literally swings at everything. Jason, what's good, man? Corey's an aggressive hitter. Like that's the one thing for me that I don't love about Corey Seager and Marcus Semien hitting back-to-back 1-2. It's the reason why I would love to see Corey move back to the 3 spot and see Marcus move down to 5th or 6th. You've got 2 super aggressive hitters up at the top of the order, and I would much rather have guys up at the top that are a little bit more patient, right? Have a little bit more of an eye up there at the plate. Look, aggressiveness can definitely be a positive thing. You have guys jump on the pitches when they see something they like. Sometimes it works out great. When you're in a slump like Marcus, though, and look, Marcus, did he go 1 for 3? Yes, he did 1 for 3 with the walk. Pretty good line for Marcus. But I just would like to see probably a little bit more patience up at the top of the order if it's me. Keep going. Berger got lucky. Look, I heard some of the call. I was not able to watch the entire game. I was able to listen to quite a bit of it and kept track of it, obviously, in the Game Day app as well. But look, I saw a couple of hard hits from Berger. I don't know every single hit what it was, but yeah, I definitely would have to check out the entire feed, which sometimes I go back and do, but most of the times I just watch the condensed game if I have to listen to a majority on the radio. Love the radio, guys, by the way. Would highly recommend. Highly would recommend. Beastmaster, no game for right now. No game for right now. I already told y'all. It's like one of those things where when I try to put the video and put it up on YouTube, and if I'm showing the game the entire time, I always get hit up with the copyright stuff. Plus, it just slows down my connection. One day I'll figure it out. But if y'all got to go to another stream because y'all want to watch the game, no worries. Don't blame me at all, but appreciate y'all hanging out. We keep going. Thank you so much for all the comments, y'all. I see a couple people have followed while we're live here. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Got over 6,000 followers, by the way. That was awesome last night. I was at like 5950 on TikTok before I went live. Over 6,000 by the time I got off. So sweet. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, Trout, I think, is going to be just fine. I really do think he's going to be all right, too. Harrison, what's good? Look, let me look at some Jock's at bats tonight and just kind of see what the numbers were like. If he was hitting the ball hard. Line out to center at 106 off the bat. That's encouraging. That was bottom of the first inning. 106 exit velo for Jock. Let's see. We'll go bottom of the third or bottom of the second. He was called out on strikes. Bottom of the fifth, he popped out. So third base pop out. Probably nothing to look at there. Then we had bottom of the seventh. He was pinch hit for. So basically 1 hard hit out of 3. We'll see. Harrison, I don't know if I'm sold. I don't know if I'm sold by 1 hard hit or not, but I will say this. I hope you're right. I'm hoping for you to be right. We keep going. Yeah, look, I thought Corbin was going to come back and make a solid start tonight. I really did think he was going to pitch well. We get these gut feelings sometimes. Look, they don't always work out, but we had a gut feeling. We all kind of talked about it last night on the show. Thought Corbin was going to come out and pitch solid tonight. Look, the Angels, they have scuffled a little bit over the past 3 games now, going back to their final game against the Astros. By the way, Mavs up 20 right now. Mavs up 20 right now in Sacramento. My goodness. I'm happy for those boys. Look, forget the front office. A lot of those guys have been there all year, grinding, playing their butts off. I cheer for the guys on the team. I know that a lot of people, a lot of Mavs fans still upset. I'm cheering for the guys on the team, and I am happy that they are getting a win tonight. Mavs up by 20 in Sacramento. Is it halftime yet? I told my buddies, we got a big group chat, a bunch of my high school buddies. I said, Mavs can win this game. Mavs can definitely win this game tonight. Sacramento, obviously, they've got Sabonis. They've got a couple of other nice pieces, but Mavs absolutely could take this one. They played some close games with the Kings. Love to see that. This is a fun game to watch, no doubt. I've got it going on in the background here. Awesome game. Awesome game. John says, when you see how the Angels have been, what does that say about our pitching when they've only scored one run? Yeah, look, we've been shutting them down. Angels have been pretty hot over the course of the season. So the pitching is definitely carrying right now. Pitching is 100% carrying right now, and you love to see it. Keep going here. Keep going. Appreciate all y'all hanging out. Big D51, appreciate it, man. Thank you for all the comments. Really appreciate you. Let me go back to TikTok here. We have to make the bullpen a little bit more stronger. Look, if we are in a good playoff spot, I think that we're going to go out and really solidify the bullpen. Maybe a Ryan Helsley type or another hot arm at the deadline. I could definitely see us making a move like that. Don't know if we're going to go out and get a bat, but I could 100% see them adding depth in the bullpen. Mavs up 23 now, by the way. Kings look a little shell-shocked right now. Home crowd's quiet. Kings look a little shell-shocked. Mavs up 23. Let's go. Let's go. Jock is a vet. It's only a matter of time. Look, that is the glass half full mentality that I'm here for. I'm 100% here for it, but it's not looking great right now. I don't really know if there's a lot to point to. Yes, Jock had a 106 mile an hour exit velocity today on one of his hits. I'm not sold. I'd love for him to bust out tomorrow, have a huge game, but I'm just not sold. Thoughts on Dustin Harris so far? Y'all know where I stand on Dustin Harris, man. Dustin Harris, I think, needs to be playing over Leote. Dustin Harris was taking some reps at first base. Berger, obviously 3 hits tonight. Maybe a little fire under Berger. Watching Dustin Harris take some reps at 1B, man. Maybe it lit just that little fire. Oh, okay. They're trying to put Dustin Harris at my spot now. 71-48 Mavs at halftime. 71 first half points. Wow. I did not have Mavs scoring 71 in the first half on my bingo card. All right. Now that Mavs are off, we can really lock in here, y'all, for about 20 minutes. Look, I do think maybe there's something to that. We know Dustin Harris has played some first base in the minors, but maybe him taking reps during BP the other day, Berger saw that. Berger was watching that happening, watching that unfold. Maybe it lit a little bit of a fire. Yes, sir. I saw Clay 5 threes, and then I saw AD just hit a couple threes back to back after starting out like 2 for 9 from the field. It was not looking great watching AD. He was throwing up some bricks, and you're just like, if AD doesn't give us this big game, we need somebody else to step up. And there was Clay hitting all them threes in a row, man. Good for Clay after having a rough ending. Y'all remember the 0 for 10 stuff with the Warriors play-in game last year? Like, good for him. Wasn't Clay? Didn't Clay and the Warriors play the Kings in the play-in last year? Am I remembering that right? It was that the game where he went 0 for 10 and everybody was commenting on that the entire time, like in the offseason? Like 0 for 10 in a playoff game. I don't know. Am I misremembering that? I thought it was against the Kings that he did that. So maybe there's a little bit of a revenge factor here. Wow. Very cool. Appreciate you you verifying that for me. Look, that's what I thought. So going into this game, maybe a little added motivation to really avenge what happened last year with Clay not hitting a shot in the play-in game when he was on the Warriors. Keep going here. Appreciate all y'all hanging. Will we ever see Evan Carter again? Texas Realtor, I sure hope so. I'm cheering for that. I do think Evan Carter is going to be up in May or June. That would be my guess. May or June, we see him. But we got to see how he does. They've been really careful with him. He hasn't been playing every day. I think they're trying to manage the back injury. We'll see what ends up happening. But my thought would be May or June. 11 hits was great, but besides Seager, we need more big hits. Look, there were two guys that are responsible for over half the hits. Corey Seager, Jake Berger with 6 hits combined. Rest of the lineup with 5. You definitely would like to see the Rangers do a little bit better with the runners in scoring position. Look, 2 for 10 is not awesome. 9 guys left on base is not awesome. Josh Young, he came up in a big spot. He was 0 for 4 tonight. Look, runner on third, I believe. Adolis Garcia had just stolen third, and you had Josh Young striking out. That's a couple of times now in the past 4 or 5 games that Josh Young has struck out in a spot where you just got to put the ball in play. And I know Josh Young's numbers still look great, 343 on the year, 914 OPS, but Josh Young's got to be better in some of those situational spots. You have got to put the ball in play after Adolis steals that third base bag after he doubled with 1 out. I believe that was all in the 7th inning. And look, that would have been a huge insurance run in the bottom of the 7th inning to put the Rangers up by 3. Josh Young's got to come through there. Adolis, though, on that double, 100 miles an hour off the bat. Love that. Adolis Garcia goes 2 for 4. So Dolly, Seager, and Berger, 8 hits out of the 11 today. Jonah Heim goes 0 for with a walk. Jock 0 for. Josh Young 0 for. Everybody else had a hit. There you go. Berger heating up just like we said. Yes, sir. Hard Chuck, good to see you, man. Emily, Rangers look good. Look, when you're winning, you can really make a lot of arguments for how good the team looks. You definitely can smooth out a lot of the rough edges when you've got to win at the end of the night. And so I still don't love the Rangers' lack of offensive output, but you had it happen at the right times tonight. So we'll go with it. We'll go with it. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Keep going. Thoughts on the Luka trade? Oh, y'all already know. I'll say this. If you were going to trade Luka, you needed, kind of like Mark Cuban said, to get like 4 first-round picks, AD, and Austin Reeves. Look, Max Christie, I know he had a hot start and kind of faded a little bit at the end of the year, but you needed to get a whole lot more than what they got. So I would never have traded Luka, but if you were going to trade him, you needed to get a king's ransom, and the Mavs did not do that. Do I think Dustin takes Leote's job? John, I sure hope so. I've been a big advocate. Let Dustin Harris have center field. Like, you've seen everything you need to see from Leote. Personally, I'm kind of tired of how they keep pumping us up. They keep gaslighting us into believing that Leote is about to take that next step. And every single season, it's the same exact thing. You look up and he's hitting low 2s. Like, dude's got a 486 OPS hitting low 2s. It's like clockwork. So I personally am very open to the Rangers moving on from Leote being a center field starter. I think Dustin Harris can do it. When Wyatt Langford gets back, I would much rather have Wyatt in center, Josh Smith in left. And then look, Dustin Harris, he can be first sub in the outfield. But I'm kind of over Leote starting games and the Rangers trying to convince us that he's just on the cusp of hitting that next tier in his development. I'm over it. I'm over it. Mariner fan here. What is Cal Raleigh doing live streaming in a Rangers hat? Y'all, how many days in a row, how many lives is this in a row that I've got the Cal Raleigh comp? You know what I'm going to say already, so I'm not even going to say it, but keep it coming. Let's see how many days in a row we can make it. Literally, it's probably been every day the past week I've gotten the Cal Raleigh comp. I'll take it. I will take it. Yeah, I'm not a Leote fan at all either. Josh Young maybe overswinging a little bit. I mean, still hitting well, so it's hard to get on the guy, but I don't know. Eric, what's good, man? Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you. Appreciate the comments. Who's my Cowboys pick at 12? I'm probably going Genty. I would like to see them get Genty, kind of like they did with Zeke Elliott. Get you a good running back in the mix. That'd be a lot of fun. I am kind of tired of them trying to get the D lineman in the first round from Michigan, and it's just not going great like they did with Mozzie Smith. I'm ready for them to get a skill set in the first round. I feel like it's been a second since they've done that. I'd like to see them go get Genty. We'll see what happens. Let's go Mavs tonight. Richard, what's good? Hard Chuck says they're trying to pump up Leote's stats for an all-star break trade. Look, that does bring up a good point. Like, it does you no good if you're the front office to trash Leote. If anything, you want people believing that Leote is on the cusp of making the next step. You and I know better. We've watched Leote for the past 3 years do exactly the same thing every single season. But if you're Chris Young, smart to pump him up and pretend like he is on the cusp of greatness. I do think there is something to be said about hoping that he performs really well in the opportunities you're giving him so he could maybe be a trade chip. There were teams, though, in the offseason that were inquiring about Leote. I have no idea if there really were teams that were knocking down the Rangers' door for Leote Taveras. I really don't understand why they didn't pull the trigger. I think you could have traded Leote last year. You could have traded him 2 years ago in the World Series year. I really don't understand the strategy beyond that. The Rangers think that he really is the real deal. And if you just give him one more season, he's going to become the next Mike Trout. I mean, I don't know. I'm not there with Leote. I would like to see them give somebody else an opportunity, but enough about Leote. Jock does need to get going 100%. Mavs, man, appreciate the comment. Thank you, by the way, for all the follows. I've seen a bunch of y'all follow since we went live. Thank you so much. If you're not following yet, hit that follow button. We do a little bit of everything. Big on the Rangers, obviously. It's baseball season right now, y'all. But with the NBA playoffs heating up, as long as the Mavs are in it, we'll still talk some Mavs from time to time. Y'all know I got to represent. Mavs are off to an awesome start tonight, 71-48 in Sacramento. What's that crowd thinking right now? I'll tell you what, I mentioned this on the live last night. I have really come to appreciate being a visitor cheering for my team. And that's always what I'm doing out here on the West Coast. A lot of y'all know I live out in Las Vegas. So we go watch the Rangers on the road. We go to Angels, Dodgers, Padres stadiums. And you're like one of the only Rangers fans. Out in the basketball side of things, we usually will go up to Utah and watch them play the Jazz. And I've gone to multiple Jazz games, and it's kind of the same feel. I went to when was it? 2 years ago? 3 years ago. It was 2022, I believe, the 2022 playoffs, where that was that final year with Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert on the Jazz. And the Mavs were up 4 with like 35 seconds left. Luka hit an incredible 3 to go up 4 with like 35 seconds left in Salt Lake City. Again, this is when they lost to the Warriors in 22, eventually in the Western Conference Finals. Crowd, you could hear a pin drop when Luka hit that 3 to go up by 4. Some of y'all might remember this game if I got any Mavs fans hanging out still. Then Donovan Mitchell came down and got an and one. Dwight Powell, for whatever reason, ended up getting the ball after the and 1-point game. Missed, I believe, both free throws. And then Rudy Gobert, I think, hit like a shot in the lane, and the Jazz ended up winning by 1. I think the Mavs won every other game in that series after that on their way to the Western Conference Finals. But it was awesome being in that environment. I've kind of come to appreciate playing the villain role, being the away fan. But there isn't anything like being in front of the home crowd. Like I told y'all about that the other night. But I have come to appreciate going to the away stadiums and still cheering for your team, even though you're in the minority. 2011, awesome year. Yes, sir. Dirk Nowitzki, baby. Who's the bigger threat for the division, Houston or the Angels? I got to go Houston. Like the pedigree, I've got to go Houston. I'm not there on the Angels. I told y'all coming into this series, I'm just not sold on the Angels actually being a contender. Appreciate the background here, bud. Thank you so much. Live in Michigan now. Huge Rangers fan. Rangers gear everywhere. Everybody's a Tigers fan out there. Yeah, one of my best friends lived in Michigan for a while. I definitely experienced that. I would go up and visit him. It is Tigers fans all over the place. Makes sense, right? But you can appreciate what I'm saying. Go to some Tigers games where the Rangers are playing. You're like one of the only ones wearing a Rangers uniform. So whenever they do something good, it's like you're the loudest one in the stadium. Look, it's fun. It's fun. I've come to appreciate it. My wife sometimes gives me a hard time. Like she'll elbow me, dude, stop drawing so much attention to us. We're going to get beat up. Like we'll be okay. I'm not like obnoxious. I know I've got a little bit of a big personality, but I'm not obnoxious. Don't take it the wrong way. But if somebody hits a home run, I'm standing up and cheering. If Luka Doncic hits a huge shot to go up 4 with 30 seconds left in a big playoff game, you know I'm standing up and making noise. It's just the natural sports fan within me. Again, not obnoxious. Right? I'm not sitting up there hollering, cussing, being derogatory, but I'm cheering for my team. That's how it goes. The fans aren't happy, Eric, in Sacramento. I mean, I wouldn't be either. You just spent your hard-earned money to watch your team go down 23. Now, look, we better knock on wood, Mavs fans. We know how this goes in the NBA. One of the things that does bug me about the NBA, and it happens in college too occasionally, but I hate that a 23-point lead doesn't feel safe. Like in my mind, there's no way you should ever lose a 23-point lead. And I'm sure that the majority of teams close it out. But it's crazy to me in the NBA how a 23-point lead just isn't safe anymore. I really can't explain it. I must admit, baseball, football are probably the sports that I have the most knowledge in. I watch a lot of basketball too, but I'm not naturally a basketball mind. Somebody else smarter than me probably has a better answer, but it does bother me about the NBA. These huge leads are just not safe. I mean, obviously, you hit a few threes in a row and a lead disappears like that, but I won't say that I feel super cozy, even 23 up. It can change quickly. You miss 3-4 shots in a row, they hit 3 or 4 in a row, and now all of a sudden it's close to a single-digit game, single-digit lead. But look, we'll take 23. Don't get it wrong. Keep going. Stars aren't ending the season too well. I saw that. And look, I've got a special place in my heart for the Stars. I will say, being out in Vegas for 15 years, 2017 Golden Knights become a franchise. 2017, it was also a super tough year for the city. There was that big mass shooting. I'm sure some of y'all heard about it, Mandalay Bay. And literally it happened on, I believe, the day that the Stars and Knights played each other in the Golden Knights' first inaugural game. And the Stars, super classy. I remember the game vividly. But just because of all of the context in that year, I just became a Golden Knights fan. And I know the Knights and Stars have had some battles, and it has really tested me. But I will say it's hard not cheering for an expansion team, a brand new team being born in some of those circumstances. So Knights, definitely my team, but the Stars, if the Knights aren't in it, I'm there 100%. And I keep my eye on the Stars all season long. Hey, appreciate you, bud. Thank you, Big D. Going to bed. Sleep well, my friend. Come hang out again soon. How you feeling about the Rangers right now? Good. It's crazy they're 11-7, but have one of the worst offenses in baseball. Like, it is crazy. They are best record in the American League right now, the Rangers are, but one of the worst offenses in baseball. But credit the pitching. The pitching has been outstanding. They have one of the best ERAs in the league, top 5. So that is carrying the team right now, 100%. Wyatt comes back this weekend. Jose, love it. So glad that Wyatt is not going to be out for any longer than what was originally shared. He was originally going to come back against the A's on Tuesday, but I think progressed well enough where he's going to be back against the Dodgers. That Dodgers series is going to be so much fun. I'll be live every night of that Dodgers series. We got to go live every night when it's Dodgers. I won't be live tomorrow night, by the way. Maybe we'll do some texts, some tweets during the game itself, but not going to be live tomorrow night. Wife and I celebrating the anniversary, so we'll have some fun going out, getting a nice meal. I'll check on the Rangers here and there, but we'll be back Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we'll be ready to talk ball with y'all, hopefully after some Rangers wins over the Dodgers. Keep going. Dodgers are letting the Rockies come back. I don't even have my eye on any other scores, but I'm about to do some scoreboard watching here in a second. Hard Chuck, Twitter is just Right on Rangers. Right on Rangers. So if any of y'all want to catch some of my live tweets, I'm on like every major social. I got an app that allows me to post to like everything at once. So Facebook, and I do Instagram Threads. I do X. I do, what else is there? Blue Sky. I'm on Blue Sky too. Look, I don't care. Whatever people want to find me, I just want to make myself available. So any one of those, if y'all want to follow me and get some live tweets during the game, I'll tweet on there about Rangers news. Pretty active. But then obviously all my lives post-game, I save most of my stuff for the lives. But if y'all want to follow along, please feel free. I would love to get that follow over on X or whatever app you prefer. I'm on pretty much everything, and it's all Right on Rangers. So easy. Right on Rangers. Same way you spell it on TikTok, Facebook, wherever you're at right now watching. The Stars are resting some players. Scott, what's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you, bro. Love you, buddy. Stars resting some players since the game didn't matter. AD needs to wear the different colored shoes every game. Did y'all see how he's got the different kicks on, the different colored kicks? I love that, by the way. 100%. That's the baseball player in me. Hey, don't change anything. AD better be wearing those different colors next game out. Hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate this. The comment says happy anniversary to you both. We appreciate you. Go Rangers. Hey, thank you so much. Going to be a great day tomorrow. Hopefully Rangers will get the series sweep, have a great steak dinner, night out with the wife, and then get ready for an amazing series with the Dodgers this weekend. I can't tell y'all how much I love when the Rangers play the big talent competition. Even if it doesn't always go the way you planned, these series are so much fun to me. You got the big names. You're really seeing what the team is made of. I mean, it's fun to beat up on the Angels and, fun to beat up on the Rays. But, give me Dodgers Rangers, man. Give me Padres Rangers. I love matchups like this. So I am so pumped for this weekend. I hope y'all will come and hang out. We'll be live Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And hopefully it's after the Rangers, sixth straight win on Sunday night. I would love that. 3 in a row tomorrow is the plan. Let's make it 4, 5, 6 this coming weekend. Eric, yeah, Mariners and Rangers. I said it during the series. The Rangers and Mariners have a lot of similarities. Elite pitching, very questionable hitting at this point. Seattle lost last night, but I believe that they're winning tonight 5-3. Okay, they're winning tonight 5-3. Got it. Let's do some scoreboard watching, y'all. Mike, appreciate you, man. Thank you for the follow. Jose, appreciate that. Appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Hey, if y'all aren't following yet, please hit that follow button. And if you don't have the notifications turned on, I know you can do it some way, somehow on TikTok. Get notified every time we go live. We're probably once or twice a day posting. I try and put out a reel. I try and go live once a day. Not every game do I go live, but I would say, look, probably 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 games, I'm probably live afterwards. So turn those notifications on so you never miss a show. Love having y'all here. Love the comments. Love the questions. Vibes are up. It's a great time to be a Rangers fan. Hopefully the Mavs can close this one out too, and then we just get that double-double, man. 2 wins. Rangers, Mavs win on the same day. Hard to complain. Did the Astros lose today? They did lose today. Astros lose today. Mavs are winning. Rangers are winning. Vibes are up right now. Let's go. 4-1 loss to the Cardinals. Hey, and again, spent a little time in St. Louis when I was real young. Don't mind seeing the Cardinals get a win. Obviously, didn't love Cardinals doing what they did back about 14 years ago to us. But you know what? I've gotten over it since 2023, the World Series. I feel like we can kind of move on a little bit from 2011. I'll take the Astros losing any night, though. Mariners win 5-3. What'd the A's do? They won 3-1, and then the Angels lose. So what do we got for standings right now? Let's check this out. And let's see who's hot and who's not in the league. I don't do this very often, y'all. My focus is like solely on Rangers and the DFW sports teams that I love. But we got 1.5 game lead over the Angels, 2 games up on the Mariners, 3 games up on the A's. Astros are in last place right now. I wish I could just like frame this and enjoy it. Astros in last place. I mean, technically they're tied with the Athletics, but look, MLB's putting them at the bottom. We'll take it. Let's see. Yankees on a little 3-game win streak. They have the same record as we do, 11-7 for best in the AL. Blue Jays and Red Sox each on a little win streak. Okay. Royals are 8-11 to start the year on a 3-game skid right now. Interesting. And then in the National League, Padres are still hot, 15-4. Padres have the best record in baseball. NL West is tough, man. You've got 3 teams in the NL West, and they each have one of the 3 best records in baseball. Padres are 15-4. Giants are 13-5. Dodgers are 13-6. 3 best records in baseball right there. Awesome. Awesome. Lastros, yes, sir. Yes, sir. The Trastros, the Lastros. Y'all, if y'all got anything else good, throw it my way, man. Trastros, Lastros. Love it, baby. Wyatt comes back this weekend. Yes. Finally, a Rangers live streamer. That's right. I'm your boy. Rangers mostly, little bit of Mavs, little Cowboys, little Longhorns. I know I can't hit everybody perfectly, but look, thanks for tolerating the other stuff. If you're just Rangers, not much of a Mavs fan, not much of a Cowboys, Longhorns fan, thanks for putting up with the other stuff. It's always going to be mostly Rangers. That is the name of the channel. It's got Rangers in it. Right on Rangers. That's where the name came from. My love for the Texas Rangers. So you're always going to get a majority of Rangers, but occasionally we pepper in a couple others. So during the postseason, as long as the Mavs are cooking, we'll talk Mavs. We'll start talking a little NFL as the summer kind of gets into those dog days a little bit. And you got the draft and you've got OTAs. We'll start getting into stuff like that. But right now, it's pretty much full-on baseball with a little bit of hockey and basketball mixed in there. Appreciate the follow, though. Last Olympian, appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Richard, Rangers win. Yes, sir. They keep showing Nico like a jump scare. I have noticed, man. Well, it's just because of all the drama with the interview, or not an interview, like the press conference that Nico did, and like nobody could have a camera. It couldn't be audio recorded. I think that they finally got the audio recording approval, but nobody could release the audio. What are you doing, man? You're not helping your cause having this secret press conference where all you can do is have just these random cherry-picked quotes here and there. I'm just not a fan of the strategy they're employing, just not getting back in the good graces at all. And they're probably never going to get back in the good graces. Nico Harrison in the front office we're talking about for the Dallas Mavericks. But look, this ain't it. The path that they're taking right now ain't it. And even if the Mavs go on a nice little run here, look, y'all, I'm not going to lie to you. I can't see this team winning it all this year. I'm going to cheer my hardest for it, but I can't see the Mavs winning it all. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to believe until it's over, but I think that they got a tough road ahead of them without Kyrie. If they had Kyrie, I'd probably give them a puncher's chance. I don't know if they're going to get it done without a healthy Kyrie. AD is going to have to be extra special. Keep going. Let's go, Mavs. Yes, sir. Nice to see Nico can negotiate something. Nico, look, he's got a few years left on the contract. I wonder if he rides it all out. You know he's not resigning, but I wonder if he's going to ride it all the way through to the end. Anything else from the box score today? Let me check this out, y'all, real quick, and then we'll probably turn our focus a little bit more to the Mavs, and then we're going to wrap it up. I don't think I'm going to go to the bitter end here on the Mavs game. I'm going to go watch it inside, enjoy it with the fam, and then we're going to head to bed. It's getting late in Texas, 10:40 right now. Y'all be up a little bit, only a little bit later, almost the fourth quarter, right? Nothing really crazy from the box score. Nothing else I'm seeing. Bullpen was outstanding. We talked about a couple of key pieces. Armstrong, Webb, really having quality outings today after being a little bit shaky. Look, Webb with 4 holds. That's impressive. Jackson, 6 saves on the season. Let's go. Let's go. All right, y'all. Tomorrow's game. Let's go to tomorrow's game. So we had Mally, we had Corbin. It's Rocker tomorrow, and it's another night game. I thought maybe tomorrow was going to be day game, but it's another 7:05 Texas time start. Kumar, Rocker, Kahanowitz, I believe, is how you say that. I think. Sorry if I butchered it. No numbers for the Angels against Rocker. Against Kahanowitz, we got Duran 0 for 3. Garcia is 1 for 2 with a 3-run bomb. There we go, Dolly. Against the Angels, probable starter for tomorrow's game. Dustin Harris, 1 for 3. I think this is the guy Dustin Harris got his first major league hit off of. So there you go. Jonah Heim's 1 for 5. Josh Young, 2 for 3. And then you've got Marcus Semien, 3 for 7. Josh Smith, 1 for 7. Leody Taveras, 2 for 6. So that's what we got tomorrow against probable starter. I think it's Casey Kahanowitz. Sacramento on a little 10-0 run right now. Not what you like to see. That's what I said. These runs in the NBA, man, but the Mavs are still up 16. It's not over till it's over in the NBA. It's really not. All right, y'all. What do we got? Any other comments? Thanks all y'all for hanging out. I appreciate it so much. Great Rangers win. Outstanding Rangers win tonight. We're here for it. Thank you to everybody that's followed on the live. Hey, do me a favor real quick before you leave. If you know somebody that's a diehard Rangers fan, you know somebody that loves ball, loves talking baseball, please send them my way. Share the live with them. Share one of my reels with them, one of my shorts with them. I would be very grateful. Let's keep growing this great group of people we got talking baseball, talking Rangers baseball, talking Mavs, talking all things DFW sports. I love it. So hope y'all have a great rest of the week. Won't see y'all tomorrow, but I will be back Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Maybe do some live posts tomorrow, some live tweets during the game, and then probably have a short or a reel out tomorrow as well. So look for that. I really, really appreciate the support. Y'all keep the show fresh with the comments and great questions. So thank you. Thank you. Yeah, totally. Cowboy fan. Good times, bad times with all my teams. Mavericks have had some dark days. The Rangers, Cowboys. But that's being a true fan. It's not all about just the good times. Bad times are a part of the journey. Make it that much sweeter when you finally achieve that ultimate goal. It's what it was for Texas, man. Years of never winning, decades of never winning anything. And then it's all that much sweeter in 2023 when you finally get that first one. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Have a good rest of the night. Go Mavs. Hope they can pull this one out. 16-point lead right now. And as I always say to end every single show, God bless and go Rangers.